Hey y'all, I don't know what this is. Maybe this is the executive mindset, but this is JB from the ThePrezEx podcast, and I had to chime in real fast to talk about this whole Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese thing. And if you go to my social media, maybe I even put it in the description of the contents in this video. You know, there's been a lot of comments on my social media, Facebook and other DMs and stuff I've been getting talking about this whole situation. But just for me to be clear, like, first of all, salute to Caitlin Clark, Iowa, and Angel Reese from LSU. You know, they actually have me interested in women's college basketball, and they did a phenomenal job. Caitlin Clark, I've been calling her the last few days like Lady Steph. She's been killing it, you know, shooting stuff from 30, 40 feet. Angel Reese is like a double-double queen, like a double-double king, however you want to label it, down in the paint. You know what I'm saying? Both of them have put their mark on the women's college game. And so, you know, first and foremost, that's the most important thing. But then the whole situation came when at the end of the game, when Angel Reese went up to Caitlin Clark and taunted her doing the John Cena thing, the same thing she's been doing maybe all season. Like I said, I'm not sure because I'm not like ingrained in women's college basketball, but at least this tournament, at least in the Elite Eight against Louisville, she did that at the end of the game, going to the handshake line, basically going toward her teammates doing that. Okay. And so now I'm assuming Angel Reese and whoever else, they been seeing her all year, or at least all this tournament, been doing the same gesture stuff in the John Cena thing. And so now at the end of the game, when they're already up by a pretty big margin, she wants to do it to Caitlin Clark. Now, I don't have a problem with her doing it as being emotional in the game. You know what I'm saying? Because I could be petty too. Yep. Like, I understand that. Like, and she did that. Angel Reese did that at the free throw line when the possession before the very end of the game. She did that at the free throw line, and she did that to her, put it in her face. She was standing right next to her, and at the end of it, she called her a hoe. You know what I'm saying? If you go back to the tape, that's what it was. To me, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? That's part of the game. It is what it is. You know, no harm, no foul. That's it. But the too much, in my estimation, came about on after that free throw when the end of the game was happening. She followed Caitlin Clark all the way to the end of the floor, back to Iowa's bench, and was doing the same thing, throwing the ring sign, you know, really getting in her face, taunting her and doing that. Like, now that to me was doing way too much. That was being way too extra. You know what I mean? Because you just did that at the free throw line, coming at her, whatever, that was fine, woo, woo, woo. But then when you follow somebody back to their bench and doing the same thing, for me, that's when it becomes personal. You know what I mean? If somebody did that to me, whatever, at the heat of the moment, you're on the free throw line, you want to get at me, talk a little trash, whatever, fine, that's cool, blah, blah, blah. But don't follow me back to my bench when the game has been over and now you want to come in my face and doing the same thing. Shout out to, salute to Caitlin Clark for not even retaliating with that. She took it, you know what I'm saying? She was a good sport, I think, in that moment, in that time. But, you know, I just thought that Angel Reese was very extra with that. I think she did a bit much. And instead of just that being okay and admitting it, it's like turned into a big whole race thing. It's black and white. Oh, they saying this about Angel Reese because she's a black, confident queen. And when Caitlyn did it, you know, she was, you know, good leadership and having moxie or whatever else they were saying. Like, it ain't even about that. Like, players mess up too. Yep. Like, it's okay if Angel Reese had a moment and she did what she did at the free throw line, that was fine. Let that be what it be. But to go down the whole length of the floor and follow her and do the same thing, get into somebody's face, that wouldn't fly whether that was the men's college game or the NBA. I've seen national commentators and analysts like Jay Williams or whatever put out when Russell Wilson or when Pat Beverly does the little man thing when they put it down, put their hand down like that, like nobody says something. But we got to look at the context. That's in the game. That's not after. That's not when the game is already sold up. That's in the heat of the game, in the heat of the moment. So to me, that's fair game because it's during that. Somebody in my chat actually put out talking about when Klay Thompson trash talked the Grizzlies when they put up that 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, that was in game, but also Klay was on the way other side of the bench over there on the other side of the arena, and the Grizzlies he was talking to was over there. They wasn't in his face. They wasn't doing that. Just I'm gonna put this example out here because if anybody's a NBA historian, kind of like myself, but in 2008, the Celtics won the NBA championship and they were playing against the Lakers. And so when I think it was game 5 or game 6, it was a complete blowout, right? The Lakers lost by like 30 or 40 points. Let's say in this similar situation, let's say KG and Kobe were like Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. What if KG, toward the end of that game, when the game was already in hand, went over to Kobe and did this? I did the ring finger. I did whatever gesture or whatever in Kobe's face. Like the ego and competitor that we know Kobe was, do you think he would have just stood there and just walked off and not responded or did some type of reaction? Like it's a line. You know what I'm saying? Like the game was already in hand. The game was won 3 or 4 minutes prior to the last possession, even the free throw stuff. So to rub it in and to do that for me is a bit much. So I'm not saying trash talking is you shouldn't trash talk and do. I'm not saying you should be Barry Sanders and just kneel and hand the ball to the referee. I wouldn't do that. I would probably do something personally. But the thing is, when you rub it in, when you're doing too much extra, like, and then with Angel Reese coming across as being like, I want to be unapologetically me. I want to just show black girls, period, that they can be them and not have to worry about anything. Like I get the inspiration behind it, but you know what I'm saying? Like I'm a do me unapologetically no matter what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like if you make a mistake, be accountable for, hey, okay, I did go a little bit too far. Woo, woo, woo. That was fine. But just to say it don't matter, I can say or do anything I want to do and it should be fine. Like I think that's where where you draw the line at. And the last thing I want to say is everything ain't about race, bro. Everything is not about race. I was joking when a homie was talking about, that's how OJ got off. Don't say nothing, Rag. That's how OJ got off with the lawyer playing the race card. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, to me, it's like a crutch. It's like something that you fall back on when you know you slick in the wrong. You know what I mean? It's like, don't use race for everything. Now, there are a lot of situations where race should play a part, and it is, especially in this American capitalistic society. I mean, it's a lot of situations that can do that, but don't just put everything on that. Because when the actual situation calls for race to be in it, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people are gonna call the BS flag or call a flag because they just do that for everything. You know what I mean? So, but that's what it is, man. Trying something new here with this executive mindset being on camera, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Put your comments and reactions in the comments below, because I know some of y'all probably not gonna really be feeling this, but it is what it is, y'all.
Salute.